Maybe we could just do a pose. Like, we could be like... Maybe we do one of those?
No.
You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Okay.
I'm too old for that.
You're too old for that. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today we have Erin. She's back! And we're going to talk about Descendants 3. Descendants 3 is a 2019 Disney Channel original movie about Audrey being so scorned by Ben and Mal that she becomes the villain herself, and how the villain kids have to work together to save Oridon. It is directed by Kenny Ortega, cinematography by Adam Santelli. Edited by Don Brochu, music by David Lawrence, and it's written by Josanne McGibbon and Sarah Parriott. The film stars Dove Cameron as Mal, Cameron Boyce as Carlos, Sofia Carson as Evie, Booboo Stewart as Jay, Mitchel Hope as Ben, Sarah Jeffery as Audrey, and China Ann McClain as Uma. Filming began May 25th of 2018 and wrapped July 18th of 2018. The red carpet premiere for this ended up being canceled due to Cameron Boyce's death. It was reported to be the last of the series, but we've obviously gotten Descendants Rise of Red since then, but Rise of Red is more of a spin-off. It deals with all different characters. I thought cinematography looked good. The stream had a hard time because they did a lot of ensemble dances, so the stream breaks down when there's that much going on visually, but otherwise I think it looked good. Like I've said already, a lot of these DComs are getting higher quality budgets, and higher quality cameras are cheaper, so it's looking a lot better.
I could have used less auto-tune.
Okay, I think that's just par for the course.
I know.
For the Descendants movies.
I know.
Although I will say, Dove Cameron does have a very good voice.
Yes.
So, Good to Be Bad. I don't know if you've seen my other Descendants opinions yet.
No.
Yeah, okay. So, I have opinions about some of the music in some of these movies. A very hot take is I'm not crazy about Rotten to the Core. I think Rotten to the Core is like too dubsteppy and too intense. And then the next opening number in Descendants 2 is the Wicked one. It's they spell out Wicked or whatever.
Yeah.
I liked that better. This is my favorite opening number, for sure. I think the beginning verse of Good to Be Bad is a little rough, but then once you get to the chorus, the rest of the song is really good.
Yeah.
Really catchy, fits everything. I really like the opening number a lot. Queen of Mean, which is the most auto-tuned song.
Yeah.
But Queen of Mean is my favorite Descendants song because I heard it before I heard any other Descendants song ever.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I love
really
that
good.
song. I love that song so much. So I think when I discovered that song, I thought I knew it was in a Descendants movie. And then later, like when I went to find it, I found out it was in Descendants 3. And I was like, oh, can't wait till I get to that movie, I guess. And now, like, to have the knowledge that it's Audrey singing it, I was like, oh, this is tea. I was like, this is so interesting. So that was really great. However, I think this movie has the strongest music out of all the movies. The Hades and Mal song is hilarious. I think it's the weakest of the film, but it still made me really laugh because it's just so stupid but fun.
Yeah.
Between them. And then this is by far and away, in my opinion, obviously, Mal's best solo song. She has a solo song in every movie. I think 2's is really short. But in the first one, it was very like music video, If Only I Knew How to Love, or whatever that one was. And the second one is like a quick little, I think, reprise that she is the only thing she has by herself. But in this one, she has this, and it is the most musical sounding song I have ever seen Descendants have. I was so excited. She started singing and I was like, it sounds like an actual musical. I'm so excited. That's the like My Once Upon a Time or whatever. That is such a good song. I thought it was so strong. Definitely her strongest solo in my opinion. It also like let us hear Dove Cameron actually sing. You know, the others, they're all like poppy and intense and she's putting on some kind of like cool voice or whatever it is. Where this, like, she actually got to sing, like, a musical song, and I really loved that. Evie's solo song, One Kiss, super catchy, but I'm still a Sofia Carson hater. So, I loathe her voice. Something about it grates on my eardrums. I hate it. I think she's fun. I think she's very sweet. She is my age, though, so it's like, this movie came out in 2019. So I'm sitting here like, I was like, 27, I think, or something in 2019. So like, she's 27. But whatever, they've done worse. They've had 30-year-olds playing 15-year-olds. What do I know? But
I don't know. That song, I like the song.
One Kiss?
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I realized after thinking about it, they actually never say they love each other in the entire movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just implied. Even
after she does True Love's Kiss,
Yeah.
it's implied
It's
that they love each
implied.
other and they're like too shy to say it or whatever. They never say this, but Doug is Dopey's son.
They do.
When did they say that?
Early.
Early?
Like previous movies.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I just missed it in the first movie or something, because it's definitely not said in the second movie.
No, they don't say it in the subsequent movies. They introduce it in the first movie.
Yeah,
and then they never
I must
say
have
it
missed
again.
that because I've only seen that like when I read stuff, and I think it's so funny that Dopey's kid, and then also for him to have that long hair, in this movie is so funny. But yeah, I definitely think this is the strongest soundtrack. Did you have a favorite song, least favorite song?
I don't think I had a least favorite or like a favorite. They kind of were all in the same.
I'm assuming it's been a second
level.
since you've seen the first two. Do you know how you felt about this one compared to the others?
I actually really liked the first one, but I will caveat that as I am a huge Maleficent fan.
So like it's Queen of Mean,
yeah.
and then like maybe My Once Upon a Time, but then my next favorite Descendants song is Evil Like Me, which Kristen Chenoweth sings as Maleficent. That was my favorite song from the first movie. I was like, it sounds the most musical. It's Kristen Chenoweth, and it's so fun.
Yeah. I do like the story, but I also, on some level, maybe not popular opinion, but on some level, think it was made just to be made, because not because they needed to come up with the story. Because I would say that there are some parts of the story just happens and it's done like within 5 minutes, and it's like, this is just to make a movie, not to like really explore into a full-on
I hear that
story. Like, there's this redemption path for Hades, but we haven't even really, other than him trying to break through like the barrier at some point.
They definitely bank on you knowing the villains like original movies for sure. I think so. If we jump into story and writing and stuff now, I actually think this was a brilliant third movie. Because in the first one you've got, look, kids of villains can be good and want to be good. And then in the second one you have, look, villain kids are overcompensating, trying to be good so bad that they, like, can't find their equilibrium. And I think that was a really appropriate story for Mal. Like, she's trying so hard to be in such the absolute opposite direction. She's losing herself. And that makes total sense. I thought that was a decent segue. In the third one, to do a good kid going bad was so the move that needed to be done if you were going to do a third movie in this universe. The things I thought were insane were Mal and Ben getting engaged. I thought they were still in high school. So I was very like, what's going on? But then I realized they must have graduated or something, which was never made clear. I know, but he was made king in the first one, but he was still in school in the second one.
Maybe it's more like...
I get, like, in the actual princess movies, they're like 16 and 18.
I'm thinking, okay, I'm going a little bookish here.
Okay.
But, like, Academy Romance, I think it's kind of that blend of probably high school, early college area, so I don't think he would become king unless he was 18, right?
Sure.
So he could still be in school, right?
It's just like college or something?
Yeah, like...
They never, like, established that, though.
Or, like, high school,
and it was,
college.
Like, made, for Disney Channel, so I think when it started, I assumed they were in high school.
Yeah.
And it's never said they're not, like, of high school age, and there's, like, a sports team, and they're in different classes.
It just reminds me of, like right now I'm reading Zodiac Academy.
Okay.
So it basically starts when they're 18.
Okay.
But it's very, like, also boarding school, high school, like you get those elements. There's sports teams, there's like, you know what I mean?
I get that it could be like, you know, a boarding college or, you know, like whatever. But they don't say that.
Yeah.
You know, I know he becomes king, but like, I don't know, maybe he's becoming king at 16. What? I have no idea. So I think that was like my whole thing is like, I was like, oh my god, they're already getting married? I was like, I thought this movie was for kids, so I thought they were in high school. Because when I was growing up, all the DCOMs, they were like in middle school or high school.
Yeah.
Because that's the age they wanted of the kids watching. You know, so they tried to do like, look, relate to these kids.
I think it would make sense that they aren't because you aren't. So when those movies started, you were.
I was not in high school when they started.
No, like when those type of movies, DCOM movies started, you were middle school, high school. So they're growing. They're growing with your generation.
Yeah, I guess. But they normally try to keep, like, to stay in that demographic. But I was like, oh, okay, whatever, they're engaged, that's fine, I can suspend my disbelief for that, that's great. But then, like, you know, it's the trigger for Audrey, so I was like, okay, I get it. Like, what else would they have done to trigger Audrey's going bad storyline? And I really like that was the, like, you know, Audrey was gonna go bad. I thought that was such a good choice, as I was saying. I think Mal being the one that says they should close the barrier forever was fascinating to me. Because, you know, as the one being such an advocate for VKs, as they so call them.
I'm not surprised, actually.
Me either. I just thought it was, like, very interesting. And I also thought it was essential because they would have totally ruined Ben's character if he had been the one to come up with that. Because from the beginning, the whole reason it was open and Bill and kids came over was because of Ben's passion about this. And so for her to be like, we need to protect Oridon, we should close the barrier forever, is fascinating and I think really interesting for her story arc.
Yeah.
And that way, it's then convincing that Ben would be like, oh, well, if Mal thinks we should close the barrier forever, it makes it that much more, like, believable that he'd be like, I mean, okay, but I hate it. It's not what I want.
I would like to see more of disagreement between them. I think that was brushed over.
I agree.
By the other plot.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely agree because I feel like Ben didn't put up much of a fight on that. Also, when she, like, reveals it to the rest, I wish Ben would have said, like, we can change our mind. Yeah. Like, you know, we didn't do it. We can change our mind.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. And there's something to be said, like, him trying to, like, go to bat for Mal and be like, you know, standing as united front, there's something to be said for that. That's really nice. But at the same time, him, like, being able to reassure her and be like, we can change our mind. Like, it's okay. But very interesting different things happening in the story. I think this movie is packed. Like, it definitely has the most pieces going on, which makes it move a lot faster, which made it, for me, more entertaining. Because they didn't lose any of them, although, like, they maybe lost, like, Hades a little bit, the redemption arc.
Yeah.
Which, like, they didn't lose it, because he does get it, but it's kind of like, okay. Like, you're throwing this on us in the third movie to resolve it in the third movie. Like, we had no idea he was her dad, because they didn't come up with that until this movie.
Yeah.
You know, and then you resolve the daddy issues in the same breath, you know, basically. So I hear you on that for sure, but at the same time, you know, having these characters over here doing this, and these characters over here doing this, and these characters over here doing this, and they all come together to, like, finish off the plot, that's how you know you got good stuff going on. So I was thoroughly entertained. I think this is the strongest movie of the trilogy. Although now I know there's Rise of Red, but that's all different characters. So I enjoyed this story more than the first two, personally.
I did have to say I loved how the inside of the fairy cottage, I don't know if you noticed this, but
it looked a lot like the movie.
It looked a lot like...
you know, they're trying to keep it, you know. Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. I did notice that it looked very much
Not so
like
much the outside, but the inside, definitely.
Looked like the movie. 100%. Yep. I agree. And I did notice. I cried. I did end up shedding a tear when Hades saved Audrey and gave Mal the Ember in the little sideswipe moment. I was like, oh. So I shed a single tear.
Oh, no.
So it counts. But it was good because I was already, like, on my way there because of Uma and Mal working together. And Uma, like, changing her mind when she saw Mal fighting Audrey as the dragon. And Uma, like, I was like, we can do it together, I was like, okay, sweet. And then, like, her calling Hades to come fix Audrey. And him doing it, and then still giving Mal the Emperor. I was like, dang. That's good. So then I shed a tear. And then when she was like, I can't be queen of just Auradon, I was like, oh, there you go. I'm like, geez, open the freaking barrier, you idiot. So, that's good, at least. I feel like Uma, that didn't get as flushed out as it should have. Because at the end of the second movie, you have that whole, like, you haven't seen the last of me moment. And then she comes back, and she's immediately like, okay, fine, I guess we'll work together for this. And then, like, they're fine after that. And I was like, okay, well... That could have been a bigger thing, I think. But otherwise, yeah, I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I think Mal getting turned into the old maid for a second was so funny. I wish we could have gotten that for a little bit longer. I think Dove Cameron probably had a blast with that. Yeah. So I think that was really fun.
I was kind of sad that, like, when they returned, that she...
Didn't turn back. I thought she would.
I thought she would, too.
But I think maybe because of the Ember.
Yeah.
She doesn't, because the Ember's the only thing stronger than her.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I thought she would turn back into the old maid when they came back too, but no. They're lazy. No makeup for her. I already said it kind of, but I'm still a Sofia Carson hater. When it comes to her singing voice, let me be clear, she's fine acting. I got no beef. But her singing voice... I feel like the choreo in this one was like another step up, which is funny because I'm pretty sure it's been Kenny Ortega the whole time. So I'm just wondering if they had more time to rehearse or, you know, whatever. But I feel like the choreography was bigger and better in this one. And then I also think their outfits are the best in this one. You know, like, they're cool, like, VK kid outfits.
I could live without the shoes. The shoes bothered me.
Yeah, lots of platforms.
Yeah, I could have lived with the shoes. I also, like, in the final scene, her dress changes.
Yes, it goes from long to short.
Yes, but there's no, like, explicit reason why it changed. So I got a little hung up on that. Yep, I was like, why?
I noticed that. I was like,
why is it all of a sudden this short dress?
Yeah, because they've made a big deal about all the others.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, no, I hear you on that.
There was that. Sure. I also didn't like... in the scene where they're the Hades scene, I feel like she's dressed in Audrey clothes, not in her own, like, she's very in that, like, pastel pink, like, gold skirt. Do you not, like, when Audrey, they're trying to heal her? You know what I'm talking about?
When you said Hades scene, I was picturing when she was asking him for the Ember.
No,
yes, at the end when she's like in the room asking Hades.
I didn't like that.
That was really random outfit for her.
I didn't like that. I felt it was too much trying to be not her.
Yeah, I mean, which is interesting because that was like a whole thing in the second movie.
Yeah, it was. There were hints of the purple. It was like a very like. It was like a mauve, but like very like.
No, it was color. Really pastel and light colored. 100%.
And it was like I didn't like that.
Yeah, I could agree with you, but I think their actual like VK outfits were the best in this one, minus potentially the shoes. Yeah, it was also kind of nice to like see zippers on their pants. You know, and be like, okay, they're normal people. This is also obviously the last movie that stars Cameron Boyce, because he goes on to pass away. And watching Good to Be Bad, this is finally me recognizing there's footage of him like in rehearsals with Jay. Well, not Jay, Booboo Stewart. Yeah. Practicing, and people really circulate this piece of footage because they're like, look at how good of a dancer he was and how talented and dedicated. And so I've seen that footage a lot, and so to finally see the dance he was doing in that footage in this movie was really interesting and like, whoa, weird. And then also, it's very sad because it obviously, I think he passed away before this movie came out.
He did.
And this was dedicated to him when it did come out. And then I know people have talked about at length that it affected the cast very deeply, obviously, especially Dove Cameron, because Cameron and Dove were very, very close.
Honestly, I like the berry bush scene.
No, it's so sweet. I love that. Oh my god, what a great choice. Because even after like, Harry takes a berry and is like, okay, what's this about? Like, oh, I love that. What a good choice. Mine's either Mal's solo song or, like, when they bring down the barrier.
Yeah.
Or when Hades gives her the ember. Yeah. It's all very sweet. I also really like Queen of Mean, to finally understand like, who in the universe is singing Queen of Mean. That was a very nice reveal for me. So, I got lots of favorite moments. I think it's a fun movie. And when she's turned into an old maid. Because it's so silly.
I did like how her hair throughout the movie became more blue. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did notice that. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was becoming more and more blue, and I was like, Hades.
Yep.
She's embracing the Hades side. And then, least favorite part.
I don't know if it's a part, but Belle and the Beast kind of irritated me throughout the movie.
Because my least favorite part is Beast's reaction to them wanting to take down the barrier. I was like, ew, prejudice is out.
It was that whole thing throughout the whole movie.
I know.
Like, early on, too. Like, I just
Well, he's the one that put it up.
I
so
know,
but
I just didn't... It was just their reaction the whole time, instead of, like, I guess maybe some of it's because we've dealt with it in the first, and, like...
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, they're even
didn't...
turning to Mal. Like, what do we do? Instead of Ben.
Yeah.
Because she, like, has magic and can help protect. And the whole movie, they're still very prejudiced against the VKs. And it was my least favorite part. My least favorite part when they say they're going to take down the barrier forever, and Beast's reaction is like, we can't. I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Least favorite part.
It was just, like, just them.
Also, of all people.
Yeah.
To think that I'm a beast. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It's like you were a beast for like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what it's like to be put like that. Get out of here with this. I hate it. I think it's an injustice to their characters for sure. I think Belle would never.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. His name is it Chip?
Chad Charming?
Chad Charming, yeah. Him.
Yeah.
I don't know. That character just drives nuts. Oops, sorry.
It's okay, I can believe it. I hate that they make Cinderella's child a turd blossom, because Cinderella would never let that happen. She'd rather keel over and die than have a kid that's an a-hole. Yeah. So, I hate that. But I guess in Rise of Red, it's her daughter and another person's daughter that do, and they're good guys, I guess. So. Yeah. I'm like, come on, I need to catch a break here.
At the same time, I feel like it's like saying, like, okay, he's not following Cinderella, that he's following Prince Charming, but I don't think Prince Charming
Prince Charming was bad either. I just think they decided to make him a pompous brat,
But also
I think he's hilarious, like, especially in the second one with the 3D printer he keeps trying to use of Carlos's. But I think it's awful that he's mean.
Yeah.
I hate that. I don't mind him being stupid. I mind him being mean.
But I think mean, I just think that, I don't know, I just don't like that stereotype. I think it doesn't serve for any...
I agree completely, because I'm a Cinderella stan, so the idea that someone tied to Cinderella is like that, I'm like, I don't accept this.
And I would say that for if it was any other person,
I would agree. I think Audrey in this going bad makes sense because of how much she's been scorned. But then she comes around, and like at the end, she's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." But throughout the
entire series, he is like this, and it's honestly just nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah,
horrible.
I agree. Okay, would you recommend this?
Yes.
Okay. It looks like you have an addendum to that.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I like it if you like musicals, watch it, I guess. Type of thing.
Yeah.
It's not something that I would be like, I gotta watch it again.
Sure.
Like, I also am not a person that watches movies multiple times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, it's very rare that I'm like, oh, I love a movie enough to watch it multiple times.
Sure.
Like Hocus Pocus, absolutely. Empire Records, absolutely.
I was just gonna say Empire Records. I covered that on Patreon for
But it's Tron, absolutely. But Star Wars,
This is great. Keep going.
But most movies I don't.
Yeah.
And this isn't one that I did. I started watching the series because of the ties to Maleficent and Sleeping Beauty, which are my favorite, and
Yeah.
Maleficent in all versions of her have been my favorite. I loved her Angelina Jolie as her, and I loved that story. I loved Sleeping Beauty, and I loved the character in that story, you know, so definitely enjoyed it that way, and that would be why. And so if I saw the first one, I would complete the series, but
Sure. Yeah.
I will say that I have no
Desire to go back. Yeah.
desire to go to necessarily see it again, or even honestly to watch Rise of Red. I don't.
Yeah.
It's not.
I mean, I will be watching it, obviously.
Yeah.
And not because I'm going, guess what I want to watch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have watched the Descendants movies if we're being perfectly honest.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend, especially if you've seen any of the other two.
Yeah.
Just because finish it off, especially because I think this is the strongest one, so like hold on until the third one. Because you definitely need to see the first two for this one to make any kind of sense. So watch again. I feel like I would, just because it's got my favorite music in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna like
Go out
of my way to be like, I want to watch all 3 Descendants movies again. But like, if I want to hear the music, I might like rewatch some scenes or be like, okay, I'll put it on in the background, whatever.
Yeah.
I thought this was great. I had a great time. Do you have anything else you want to like point out, discuss?
I had a theater kid moment at the end of the movie when they had the exit. When they were doing the exit, because it was very much like you're watching a play,
bows,
and they're doing bows. So I thought that was hilarious.
That's funny that that's when your theater kid moment happened, because mine happened when Mal had her solo song.
Yeah.
And I was like... Also, I watched this the same day I watched Freaky Friday, so I literally watched 2 musicals back to back, and both ended up being bangers, so then I was like so excited, because I was like... my musical theater nerd is freaking out right now. We love to see.
I could live without so much auto-tune. I know it's like the style of that period of filming, but I could
just
live without
hate it.
I don't need it to be techie. I don't need it to be whatever. I want to hear true voice.
Especially because like they get the people that can actually sing.
Yeah.
So. Okay, well that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
No.
What would you rate it out of 10?
7.
What should we do? Should we do staffs or embers? We should do
Embers.
Yeah, 100%. Mine is also 7 embers out of 10. Our total movie count is, you're 99.
I'm 99!
Yeah! That's so exciting. So tomorrow is 900.
Oh, jeez.
9 years of Idi Amin. Our cry count is... Yeah, wow. Okay.
You cried. I did not. I must be heartless or something.
No parent deaths. I don't think they mentioned any new parent deaths in this one.
No.
So, just the stuff we already know about. So, no parent deaths, so that's still the same. If you want to keep up with what movie you want you when, follow me on all socials, find out what movie you want you when. Look at my website, because it's cool, okay? Join Patreon. Buy merch. There's new merch.
Ooh.
Go buy some. Do you want them to follow you on anything? No?
No.
Great. Thanks for being here. You're the best. It's been a minute. Yay! Okay, that's... I don't have anything else. Until next time, comment, subscribe. Well, it's just tomorrow. And it's 900. I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so you. And don't be... I can't say Audrey about it, because she learns her lesson. Maybe Chad.
Yeah.
Don't be Chad about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Alright, that's all I got. Oh, excuse me. You have to be blue! Yay. All done.
Well done.
Yay!